Welcome back to Watching Biz this morning here on Channels Television. And next, still staying with the issue of the economy and the elections, we have agenda setting from the perspective of Nigeria Employers Consultative Association. We have the Director General, who's currently in Geneva, Switzerland for the ILO event, but joins us, created some time to join us for this conversation. And that's Mr. Dewale Smart Oyerinde. Thank you so much, Mr. Oyerinde, for your time this morning. How's it going there in Geneva?
Well, thank you. Good morning. I must say it's been very interesting. A lot of conversation, 2 days or 3 days into the governing board meeting, and you can only imagine the ground that has been covered within the context of the direction that the place of work or the workplace is going, and all the issues surrounding the workplace, which also affects national and global economy, as it were, affects development across board, and affects the individual nations, individual worker, and also employers as a whole. So it's been quite intensive engagement in the last 2 days.
And what will you be bringing back home? What can we expect to change when you come back?
Well, one thing that works well and that will continue to work is building of alliances, building of collaborations, sharing of best practices from business people, from governments, from global organizations, of what is best, what is the current trend, and how they are changing the narratives of their economy. Those information are very critical. Those network and alliances that we are going to build are very critical. And all these, they are part of the things we'll be sharing with our members and also with government when we return back to the country. Unfortunately, we are in the transition period, which also makes those information, those collaborations and partnerships very, very necessary to cause an economic renaissance of our country in the shortest possible time.
And even before you traveled, NECA has been very vocal about the Naira redesign. Is NECA happy now that the CBN has voiced on its decision to implement the Supreme Court ruling?
It's less of being happy or being sad. The most important thing is that the best decision for the economy is taken. And the economy doesn't operate in isolation of the actors in that economy. And the actors are employers, they are business people, MSME, workers. They are basically the actors in that economy. And our position remains, we must consistently and deliberately create an environment that is conducive for those actors to operate. So any policy, regulation, or whatever you call it, that tends to stifle those actors will not only affect them, but will affect the whole gamut of our national development, and which is what we saw in the last few weeks. Thank God reason has prevailed. The Supreme Court has made its pronouncement, and all agencies of government are all, as expected, following the pronouncement of the Supreme Court. It is the appropriate thing to do, and it's good that we all align with that rightful trend here.
But isn't this a setback in our drive towards the e-economy, a cashless economy?
Yeah, it is not. One of my mentors, he said, it's rather to be inconsistent sometimes than to persist in error. The policy is laudable. It's a direction that we should go. But the implementation, as experts have said, as we have mentioned, the implementation was fraught with error, was fraught with so many missteps. And this will probably give the CBN and those other agencies involved the time to review the implementation of that policy. The infrastructures that we need to put in place between now and December, this is the time for us to start to put those infrastructures in place. The awareness that we need to create concerning this policy, this is the right time for us to start to put those awareness in place. The collaboration that we need to build, the consensus that we need to build, because this is a national, it's less about the CBN governor, It's less about the CBN itself, even though they are the authorities in charge of those policies. But it's more of where we want to go as a nation. And we need the consensus of all relevant stakeholders, organized businesses, the MSMEs, the civil society, the Nigerian, the seemingly inconsequential Nigerian that we think is in the farthest of the villages. We need to bring everybody on board, because we cannot exclude, in our quest to include, in our quest for inclusiveness, we cannot now bring policies that exclude the people that we are trying to include.
So now, looking at the future, I mean, we have elections, and then after that, we expect a new administration. From NECA's perspective, what would you expect to be implemented differently to create the right environment for progress, for workers, for employment in the country?
Thank you very much. You know, the foundation of any growth is rests significantly on how you handle your macroeconomic issues, and I'll focus strictly on the fiscal and monetary policy. You know, because if your fiscal and monetary policies are not aligned, if they are contradictory, and if they are not pro-growth, then you've created foundational problems for yourself. Because those policies, they have the potential to influence foreign direct investment into your country. They have the potential to influence your revenue inflow. They have the potential to influence the growth of your business environment. And if you take out foreign direct investment, you take out business growth, then you have created challenges for yourself in the context of employment generation. If you don't take care of all those, you have also created challenges for yourself in the context of forex and forex inflow. So we want the incoming government, as we have said severally, to take a critical look on the fiscal and monetary policy that is going to implement. We want it to take a critical look on how those policies can be pro-growth, you know. And beyond that, you know, even the issues of who becomes what. We know negotiations should be going on currently, permutations on who man which agency should be going on. And those decisions are also as fundamental as the policy issues. Because if you have a good policy and you have the wrong person superintending those policies, you have created another dynamics of problems. So deal with the issue of macroeconomic, fiscal, and monetary policy, which have the potential to address your rate of inflation, which has the potential to address your GDP growth, has potential to address the issue of job creation and issue concerning unemployment and the rest, and has the whole gamut of potential to place our economy in a trajectory of growth.
All right, so you mentioned the composition, the team. I've seen some articles where people are saying the next Minister of Petroleum that Nigeria needs, the next, Minister of Finance. When you look at your sector as NECA, who do you think can best represent your interests in the incoming cabinets?
That is a $1 billion question, and our position is not really about the name. It's more about the profile. You know, what has the person done before? What is his antecedent? We are concerned about bringing somebody that studied agricultural science to be the Minister of Finance. You know, you create problems for us. We are worried about bringing somebody that that doesn't have a consequential experience or adaptive knowledge to man ministries, agencies, and departments that are very strategic to the growth of the private sector. So beyond the names, beyond the individuals, we want persons with the right profile, persons with the right pedigree, persons that understand the issues and can dispassionately address those issues. Individuals that are open to constructive feedback, individuals that will not see feedback as criticisms. Those are the kind of individuals that we hope and expect the incoming government to bring together as cabinet member and then as heads of agencies, wherever they can find them. And they are all around us in this country, both residents in this country, both expats, Nigerians that are expats also out of this country. Wherever you can find them, but either whatever tribe they come from, whatever geographical area they come from, most importantly, and our focus should be on getting the best of the best to drive us out of the downhill that the economy is going currently.
All right, Mr. Adewale Smart Uyerunde, the Director General of Nigeria Employers Consultative Association. Thank you so much for your time. We do wish you a safe travel back home, and we would like to get a commitment with you when you're back in Nigeria. We'd like to have you on the show. Can we get that commitment?
Absolutely.
All right.
By God's grace, we'll live to that commitment.
All right. So we'll see you when you get back, and I wish you safe travels back to Nigeria.